Cezar, you go ahead and take the seat. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started. First, we have Cezar Ferreira. If you have a question for Cezar, please raise your hand. We're gonna start first with Max, please.
Hey Cezar, this is Max from the Going Live podcast. Just have a quick question. Your win at PFL 2 was your first at light heavyweight. How did it feel fighting at 205 compared to 185 pounds?
I feel really great.
This meeting is being recorded.
I feel good. The weight cut is something that, the athlete should have a close look at, because on the fight week, I see a lot of athletes doing the opposite thing, So instead you rest more, eat good hydration, you do totally different. The guy who needs to have a weight cut, they don't eat, they don't drink, and it definitely affects the performance. Some guys get up there and get tired and they don't know what happened. So I know what happened. The weight cut is definitely affecting you. So for me, on this weight division, I have to cut only 5-6 pounds, and it's great.
Thanks so much and good luck.
Thank you.
Carlos?
Hello, my name is Carlos from the Drip Podcast. My question for you, Cezar, you mentioned before about the difference between 185 and 205. Which one would you like to continue fighting at? Obviously, I believe you're fighting at 205 in your next fight, correct?
Yeah.
Which one would you like to go back to, or do you want to stay at 205?
No, I want to stay at 205.
Is that the cut?
Okay. Maybe heavyweight one day.
I would love to see you heavyweight.
It's going to be good for my record. I fought welterweight when I fought George Masvidal, middleweight for my whole career, and now light heavyweight. Maybe heavyweight one day.
Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you, sir.
Breeze?
Hey, this is Breeze with the MMA Breeze. I just wanted to ask, how does it feel going into your second PFL fight with 6 points already on the board?
It's good, but as my team says, we cannot accommodate on that, So we have 6 points, and it doesn't mean nothing, So I have to treat this matchup as the first one and make sure I win this fight to guarantee my spot in the playoffs.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Vinny?
Hey, Cezar. Tanai here from MMA Island. How's it going, man?
Could you say again? Sorry.
It's Tanai. How's it going?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
How are you doing? Yeah. All right. So you got 6 points in your first fight. Will you be looking for the finish in the second one, or would you take it easy and save yourself for the playoffs?
I feel so good in this career on this weight division, because I want to try to finish every single fight. So Chris Comodes is a guy that I have a lot of respect for him. We should be fighting. We're supposed to fight on 2013. And now it's the time. So he has a very good strike skills, and I want to put my strike skills against his. Let's see. Looking for a knockout.
Good luck on Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eldrick?
Hey, this is Eldrick Wonder from the Fight Dialogue. Cezar, coming off a phenomenal performance of your last fight, during the broadcast, they compared your fight style to Lyoto Machida. And, like you said, you and Chris were supposed to fight back in 2013. Talk to me about this matchup that excites you into vivid details.
Like I said, I like the matchup because of his style match my style. So people are looking for entertainment, and I believe this is going to be the fight that's going to entertain people. So 2 strikes. I forgot about a strategy and boring fights. Let's give to the fans what they want to see. They want to see blood. Let's go.
And obviously, like you said, you're looking for that first round finish, which matters a lot, especially the 6 points. Due to the fact that they got rid of the 2 fights in one night, would you looking forward to that, or do you like this the outlook on pretty much you have to guarantee a finish to get yourself into the playoffs?
Like I said, from my point of view and my team, 6 points doesn't mean anything. It doesn't guarantee you in any spot. So I'm looking for the finish to guarantee my spot in the playoffs. That's right.
Curtis?
Hey, Cezar, this is Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. Kind of want to get your thoughts on how you like the season format in PFL and how do you like the quick turnaround between fights?
I love it. I love the concept. So this was one of my first trade during my entire career. Sometimes I had a fight in the beginning of the year, like in February, and I was good to go. And then I received another fight just in December, like a 1 year layoff for nothing, feeling good and healthy. So that's why I like the PFL concept. I have my schedule. This is going to be already my second fight. Yeah, I'm very happy here. So I intend to be here until the end of my career.
Thanks, Cezar.
Hey, Cezar, Tanai again from MMA Island. Cezar, this is the second time you've been in the PFL bubble in Atlantic City. How's your experience been, and how is preparation different being in a bubble?
Oh, everything's good. PFL is doing a very good job treating us very well. We have everything you need here in the bubble. Good rest, good gym facilities, training, nutrition. Oh, they'll be amazing.
Awesome. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Cezar? Ronald?
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Cezar, I just wanted to know, how has training been for you? Did you have to bring any training partners for this style of fight?
Yeah. I have a friend of mine here with me. His name is Mansour. He's a MMA prospect. I like to invest in the new people, new generation in this sport. Because in the past, someone did that to me, Vitor Belfort, when I was a beginner, he grabbed my hand and showed me the way. And this is something that I'm trying to do right now, passing on what I received, what I received. And regarding the training, we have a particular method of training MMA master. We like to do a lot of drills more than, live sparring, live training, because this sport is very new and it's hard to point, okay, this is the exactly the way how to train, So you try to have a less exposed in the body so you can have a long career. Thinking long term.
Thanks, Cezar. I'll see you on Thursday.
See you. Thank you.
Carlos?
My question for Cezar again from the Drippy podcast. Cezar, obviously your training camp I'm assuming it went well. What do you think is the most important thing inside of a fighter's training camp that they should focus on?
Make sure be healthy to compete. I've seen a lot of pro guys, high level fighter, doing like some amateur mistakes, So people breaking hand on the fight week and some weird thing happen. So the way we train there, we try to expose less as we can the body. So you gotta make sure you go healthy to your fight, Because in the end of the day, if you get hurt on the training camp doing some crazy stuff, who's gonna pay your bill? So you have to be tough when you have to be tough, but you have to think as a businessman outside of the octagon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dylan?
Hey there. I was just curious because you were talking about how important the mentorship of Vitor Belfort was to your career. Can you get more into the specifics of that? Like, how did Vitor mentor you, and I guess get you to that proverbial next level?
Yeah, Vitor Belfort. He's a guy that he's a part of my family today, and he is the guy that helped me accomplish everything I accomplished in my career. So I was very poor. I remember when I was a kid, like a 17 years old, when I met Vitor, brother, I had no money to pay for the bus, to pay for a food, And he was the one that saw, oh, this kid's he's a talent. He has a gift. So he helped me in so many ways, brother. So many ways. I'm so thankful for Vitor. Thankful for God to put the right people on my way.
Thanks for the insights, man. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Cezar? Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
It doesn't matter. Okay, please raise your hand if you have a question for Tom. We're gonna get started with Breeze.
Hey,
This
Tom.
guy from MMA Breeze.
This is
From MMA Breeze. Yep.
my man. Yes, sir. Yep. I actually I spoke with your opponent recently, and we talked about the bout coming up, and he had some opinions to share. He thought that you guys weren't on the same level. So I wanted to get your take on the matchup and what you think it's going to look like.
We're not on the same level. He's like way taller than me. So, I mean, if you factor that in, I mean, I guess he's right. I don't give a shit what he thinks, honestly. You can think whatever he wants. I mean, like I've fought plenty of guys that are, as good or tougher than Jordan Young. I'm not scared of anything that he brings to the table. One of my motivating factors in this fight is like, this is probably as close to a freak show fight as you're going to get in the PFL light heavyweight division. You've got the tallest guy, arguably the biggest guy. Martin Hamlet's pretty damn jacked, but Jordan Young's pretty tall, and I'm the smallest guy in the division. So he can think whatever he wants, but it's a fight. I mean, I'm sure he has some delusions of grandeur of how this is going to go, but everybody knows life doesn't work out the way that you want it to, and he'll find that out at the fight.
Right on. We're looking forward to it. Thanks, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Alger?
Hey, Tom, this is Alger Warner from the Fight Dialogue. My question for you is, from your last fight, what adjustments from your last fight did you make in preparation for this upcoming bout between you and Jordan? And what is pretty much just do or die for you to get into the playoffs?
Well, making the playoffs is going to be a tough act in some ways. Obviously, I need to go out there and I need to get 6 points. We have two guys that already have 6 points, and I've lost to one of them, so there goes my tiebreaker with him. We've got another guy with 5 points. We've got another guy with 3 points. So in order for me to even have a shot at making the playoffs, I need to get 6 points. So I'm going into this fight with the idea that I have essentially two different game plans. I have a game plan for the tournament, which is to win in the first round. But like I just said, life doesn't always work out how you want it to. So I also have a game plan for what happens after that first round if the fight's still going on. So as far as adjustments go, I mean, man, I've been training 20 years. I've been fighting for 18. It's kind of business as usual for me. I'm fighting another submission guy from the same camp, which is great because now they don't have to game plan for a different guy. So it seems like the odds are stacked against me, and I'm completely okay with that. I'd rather be the underdog.
Thank you for your time. Good luck on Thursday.
No problem. Thank you.
Carlos?
Hello, it's Carlos from the Dripper Podcast. How are you doing today, Mr. Lawlor?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Decent, stressful, and all that. You said before that Mr. Young is not on your level. What aspects of his game do you think you are better at than him?
Well, he's actually the one that said that. I didn't say that. I've said absolutely nothing about Jordan Young until this interview. He's a good submission guy. He's got decent stand up. He's long. I think the biggest issue for me in this fight is going to be obviously closing the distance and getting inside. Luckily for me, it's not the PFL smart cage isn't, it's not the biggest cage I've ever been in. It's not, it might be smart, but it's not Mensa level, it's not huge. So I'll be able to close the distance, hopefully push him against the cage, but it's going to be up to him to keep that range. Now, as a submission guy, you'd think you'd want to get into a grappling exchange. But as far as this fight goes, that's exactly what I want. I don't think that he's at the level of my past opponent, Antonio Carlos Jr. on the ground. Mixed martial arts grappling is a little bit different than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But Antonio Carlos Jr. is one of the best guys in the world at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And, I don't expect Jordan Young to bring that same game into the cage. He has his own flavor, his own style. But I don't think he's going to be as good as the last guy I just fought.
Thank you, and good luck Thursday.
Thanks.
Tanai?
Hey, Tom, this is Tanai from MMA Island. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you? Where is this island?
I'm good.
Is it like Isle of Man, Gibraltar? Where are you located?
I think he runs it from Texas, honestly.
Oh, Galveston?
All right, so I wanted to ask you how your preparations are going for your fight on Thursday against Jordan Young. And also, your buddy Corey Hendricks is making his PFL debut against Martin Hamlet. So how's he preparing, and how's he going to do as well?
Preparations were, I guess, a little different than what I'm accustomed to, just because of the fact that I haven't fought with this quick of a turnaround in a very long time. Probably since, my very first 3 or 4 mixed martial arts fights. I'm used to having a little bit more time to prepare in between, but I'm not the type of person that takes a lot of time off from the gym. I used to be a fat kid, and I'm very self-conscious about that. So I try to overwork myself so that I look good for the summer. And I got right back into the gym after that last fight. I've been doing this for so long that sometimes the days all melt together. So it was business as usual. Jiu-jitsu classes, striking, mixed martial arts classes, wrestling. I try to do everything that I can to stay at the top of the game. And I guess the biggest factor in trying to get ready for the fight is having to come back here into the bubble, which you mentioned my teammate and training partner, Corey Hendricks. So it's great that he's also in the tournament as well, because that afforded us the opportunity to keep training together. He's here once again. He was here with me last time, but he's here again. We have another coach with us, Matt Jelly. So we've been able to get in some pretty good work since we've been here. Luckily, I don't have to worry about cutting a ton of weight, so I can continue to train and feel good. And, I'm no longer here for a long time. I'm now here for a good time for a few days. So I'm planning on having a good time on Thursday.
Awesome. And if both of you were to make the playoffs, how did it fare, you versus Corey?
I'd knock his fucking head off his shoulders. 10
All right.
seconds.
Thank you so much, Tom.
No problem.
Tariq?
Hey, Tom, this is Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So my question, obviously you're in a do or die situation, but if you score a big finish here, you can punch a ticket to the playoffs into the tournament.
Whoa, hold on. Do you know something I don't? If I don't win this fight, I die? I thought I just don't make the playoffs.
Nah. But yeah, if you score, you score a finish. You score a big finish, you'll be in the tournament. And, as an athlete, you're familiar with that style before. You've competed in tournaments, you've competed in New Japan, and you've won a tournament. So, like, from an athlete's perspective, how has that experience kind of helped you into this scenario here?
Yeah, I haven't fought in a mixed martial arts tournament, but I was thinking about this the other day, and it's like the initial sport that I got into was amateur wrestling before I fought, which is, a lot of tournaments. So I've got something like probably 300 or 400 amateur wrestling matches that I've done. I've done jiu-jitsu tournaments or grappling tournaments and won those, professional wrestling tournaments and won those. This is a tournament format, but luckily, you're kind of set up where you're going to have one fight, and then you'll have a little bit of a break, and then you'll get the next opponent. So you don't have the trepidation when it comes to what's going to happen in the next round. You're not worried about who the opponent's going to be, and you might have to fight somebody that you're not prepared for in an hour, and you're coming off injuries and stuff like that. Luckily, we don't have to deal with any of that. You mentioned, you said do or die, right? This is kind of like, it's not do or die for my career. It's more like die for my career. Regardless of what happens here, whether it's a first round win for myself, whether it's whether it's an unfortunate loss, no matter what the deal is, if I don't make the playoffs, I'm probably not going to fight again, to be honest. So my goal is to fight again. So my goal is to get enough points to win. I'm the first fight of the light heavyweights on the show, so I don't have the luxury of knowing how the land is kind of laid out. I don't have the luxury of knowing how many points I need to get. I don't have the luxury of sitting back and trying to get 4 points and sneak in. I need to go out there and I need to get a finish. And if I don't get a finish in that first, second, third round, I'm still going to be trying to win that whole time. Like I said, you kind of have to have, from my perspective, I have to have two game plans going into this. I have to have one that's focused on getting those 6 points in the first round. That's the way I see it, is I need 6 points. I don't think 5 or 4 is going to get me in. But at the same time, I'm here to win this fight, so that's the deal.
Sounds good, man. Hey, best of luck to you this week.
Thank you.
Dylan?
Hey there, Tom. Just first off, wanted to congratulate you on that successful NJPW Strong Openweight Championship defense.
Yeah, thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. If you watched it. If not, then just pretend you did.
No, definitely checked it out, man. I'm a fan of some New Japan for sure, but I'm kind of wondering what'll bring you a greater magnitude of joy, getting a PFL victory here, or that video you watch with Brian Alvarez of the Mummy's vocal cords getting activated.
I hate to say it, especially when there's PFL staff in here, but there's very few things that bring me joy like the recreated mummy voice from CBS News does. I'm sure nobody else has any clue what you're talking about, but apparently CBS or some archaeologists spent millions upon millions of dollars to dig up the tomb of a pharaoh or somebody from Egypt whose dying wish was to speak in the afterlife. And they recreated his voice box and vocals. And I'll do a quick impression of what it was. There you go.
Thanks for the insights, man.
Daniel?
This is Daniel from Cage IQ. How has your mindset been just having to focus on MMA compared to outside the bubble where you're focused on both MMA and your wrestling career?
Well, my style of professional wrestling is essentially MMA, getting into a fight. I'm not, especially as I'm getting older, I'm not very athletic when it comes to agility, acrobatics, stuff like that. So I kind of just have to put myself in the line of fire and let guys punch me repeatedly, and hopefully, they don't miss their target and take my head off. It's very tough to balance the two of them. I get a lot of questions about that, and I guess I'm lucky in the sense that I don't have to go train professional wrestling all the time, because taking bumps on a daily basis would be it's not good for you. I mean, falling repeatedly over and over, having somebody slam you. I don't know what, now I'm having like an existential crisis now that I think about it, because I don't know what I'm doing with myself. I may just be, my body might just disintegrate after this fight when it's all said and done. But my whole life has kind of been based around mixed martial arts, around grappling, around striking, around combat sports. And, to me, there is kind of just like an extension. Pro wrestling is an extension of that. You can't fight forever, unfortunately, unless you're Terry Funk, then you can. But you can't fight in mixed martial arts forever. And when I started mixed martial arts, I knew that. I knew that you have a limited window of opportunity. Sometimes that window ends up being a little bit longer than you thought. But maybe it's not as clear looking out that window as you had hoped. And that's kind of how I've, found myself dealing with my career through the past few years. It's been a lot of like in and out of MMA, in and out of wrestling. But when it comes to combat sports, I'm all in. This is my life. So I'll continue to be involved in MMA throughout, I'm assuming, until I die. And the same goes for pro wrestling. So in one aspect or another, there's really no, there's no qualms about dealing with both of them. There's no issues when it comes to training and getting ready for an MMA fight, and also having to wrestle. And if there were, I wouldn't admit it anyways. So.
Thank you, and good luck against Jordan, and good luck against Carl Fredericks.
Thank you.
Curtis?
Hey, Tom, this is Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. My question for you is the quick turnaround you mentioned earlier in between PFL fights, especially, is that especially important for you to get back into a rhythm, considering your long layoff from the sport before the Antonio Carlos Jr. fight?
No, it doesn't really bother me. I had gone through periods of inactivity before due to injuries. I'd come back and won fights there. I had a layoff due to USADA. So like I said, there's been periods in my career where I've had to sit out for, months, years. Getting back into it wasn't hard for me. Like I said, I've been training for 20 plus years now. If I go back and I count amateur wrestling, I started in 1997. So we're talking 24 years. And the only breaks that I've had were due to injury, breaks from training, I should say, were due to injury. So getting right back in the gym wasn't that tough. The only issue I really had was apparently I'm an emotional eater and drinker. And I weighed in at, I think, 203 pounds. And then within 5 days, I think I was 223 pounds. And, that was all like alcohol. I went to the grocery store and I bought, like 6 of those gas station apple pies. They weren't all apple. It was like apple, berry. There's, probably a raspberry. maybe a lemon yogurt one as well. And I ate all of those after my dinner one night, and I got on the scale, and like my liver hurt, my kidneys hurt, my intestines hurt, everything hurt. My emotions hurt, and I got on the scale. I was 223 pounds, and I was like, "Holy shit, you've got a problem." So, that was the biggest issue that I had. Honestly, getting back into training was there was a few days there where it was tough to move around because I had blown up. So,
appreciate the time. Thanks, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Breeze.
Hey, Thomas Breeze again with the MMA Breeze. When I spoke with Jordan, we talked about his youth and how that is an advantage. But on the contrast, you could look at your experience that you touched on earlier as an advantage as well. You fought guys like Corey Anderson, Chris Weidman. You KO'd his buddy Vellante. How does your experience in MMA, wrestling, and your whole background in martial arts going to be an advantage for this bout?
How old is Jordan Young?
26.
26. Wow. He's 12 years younger than me. So that's like, what is that? That's like a sixth grader. I don't look at it as like any difference. I don't think that plays as big of a factor as some people think. As time goes by, and I'm sure fans have noticed this, I'm sure fighters have noticed this, nutrition advice gets better, workout advice gets better. As the sport of MMA has kind of evolved, people have figured out how to stay in the game longer. And one of the benefits of not having fought as much in recent years is that I haven't taken like a ton of head trauma. Sure, I get hit in training, but I'm not beat up from a bunch of fights. So if he thinks I'm like walking in there and I'm a decrepit old man, that's not the case. I may not be as good as I once was, but I'm going to be as good once as I ever was.
Thank you so much. We're looking forward to it.
Ronald.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Tom, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Can't complain, man. And my only question for you is just goes to your wrestling. Notice last year you also made the PWI top 500, and that's not something that the slosh over. That's a very high accomplishment. So just for that, how does that make you feel to be accepted and to be celebrated for your skill, what you've done in wrestling?
I mean, it's like any other job. I'm sure you like people telling you, "Hey, that was a good interview. Thank you. You did a good job." It's the same thing. I'm in, when I got into MMA, I got into it to be as good as I could. And if I look back, I don't know if I can really say that I did that, but with professional wrestling, that's also my goal. I want to be as good of a professional wrestler as I can be. So it's always great to have somebody recognize you. Now, the PWI 500 is like, I don't know who exactly comes up with it. There's no real like standards. It's kind of an arbitrary list in a lot of ways. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But to me, the bigger motivating factors are to make money, provide for my family, get some cool experiences throughout my life, travel the world. Those are the kind of things that I enjoy about professional wrestling. It's not so much, being, what number was I? Do you remember, like 80 something? Do you know? Come on.
You were 111.
What?
Yes, you were 111.
I didn't even make the top 100. How could I be proud about that?
That's better than a lot of people.
I'm more proud to be the 2020 MLW Opera Cup champion. I'm more proud to be the first, only, and ever reigning, defending New Japan Strong Openweight champion than I am about the PWI 500. So sorry, PWI, but those are the things that matter more to me than being on a fancy list.
Appreciate the time, man.
No problem.
All right, Tom, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
right, guys, up next, Ray Cooper. You got questions for Ray? Go ahead and raise your hand. All right, Tariq.
How you doing, Ray? This is Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So obviously, we know you and how you train with you and your family. It's almost like being in a professional fight as it is. But now, see, with this fight coming up this week, the playoffs coming up, just 2 short months in August. Do you guys kind of tone it down a little bit just to give yourself some time more to recover, or you just keep going at the same pace?
We keep going at the same pace. Sorry. Yeah, I don't slow down until probably this week. We keep going the whole time, and yeah, I just keep training hard.
Sounds good, man. So good luck this week.
Thank you.
Breeze.
There is Breeze with the MMA. Breeze. Wanted to ask, you had your next opponent is very experienced in Gleison Tibau. What do you make of his skill set, and where do you see this fight going? Do you see it staying up on the feet? Do you see a little bit of wrestling?
My opponent is Nikolai. I'm not fighting Gleison, but yeah, my opponent's a kickboxer, and that's pretty much all I know about him. And yeah, I'm gonna take him out the same way I do everybody, and put the pace on him. And wherever the fight goes, I'm gonna finish him.
Thank you.
Drew.
Hey Ray, this is Drew at FightLeague.com. How does it feel, and does it change any of your game plan knowing that you're at the top of the standings? Obviously, Rory's up there too, but having that 6 points going into that second bout.
My plan changes. There's no changes to the plan. I'm gonna go out there and get the 6 points and stay at the top and be number one into the playoffs.
Thanks and good luck.
Thank you.
Hello? You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Ray, how you doing?
How's it going?
I can't complain, man. For just talking about this fight, how has training been from you? Have you had to change anything up to prepare for this fight?
No, I didn't. I haven't changed anything from my last fight. I still do the same old things, and yeah, I'm just ready.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Hey Ray, this is Tanai from MMA Island. You won the championship in 2019. What would it mean if you could win it again in 2021?
I'm gonna win them again, and it's just being the champion. You gotta come back and repeat it. That's how you know that you're an actual champion, to defend the title. And yeah, that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I'm going to do.
And this is your second bubble experience with the PFL in Atlantic City. How's it been for you, and how does it compare the first time to the second?
Oh, any of these bubbles is pretty crappy. I really don't like it. But all in all, everything's been going well. PFL treats us good. They get us whatever we need, and I'm really happy.
Thank you, Ray. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Dylan.
Hey there, Ray. Appreciate you making some time.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you.
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I was just curious because on your Instagram, I'm seeing that the hashtag Lion of Judah seems like pretty prevalent theme there. What's the importance of that to you, and the significance of the Lion of Judah phrase?
The Lion of Judah means just Jesus' lineage, and I'm a strong believer in Christ, and yeah, I get all my power from my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and that's the whole story. The lion is Jesus, and that's what I represent.
Appreciate the insights, man. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Aldrich.
Hey, Ray, this is Aldrich Warner from the Fight Dialogue. So my question for you is, what's your routine day to day in the bubble? Like what's your day to day routine?
Well, I stay on I'm on Hawaii time, so it's like 7 o'clock in the morning right now, and I stay on that time. So I'd stay up till like probably like 6 o'clock in the morning, go sleep, and get up around 2, 3 o'clock. So I just stay on Hawaii time, and I train how I usually train, and yeah.
Thank you, and good luck to you on Thursday.
Thank you.
Carlos.
Hello, Mr. Cooper. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. Obviously, you've never fought in the UFC, and with the UFC probably being the biggest company for MMA, would you ever like to go over there and fight for them?
I don't know yet. Things may happen, but I'm fine where I'm at. PFL treats me good, and I don't know. We'll see. But right now, I'm focused on this fight. I'm not thinking of any other companies. I'm thinking of just this fight and getting to the championship and defending my title.
Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Darnell Giovanni, the Mystic Black MMA here. Ray, how you doing?
Good. How you going?
Good. For people who may have not watched you in the PFL, what do they get out of watching Ray Cooper fight in that cage?
Oh, they get an exciting fight, and when finished, I always go in there to finish. Most of my fights is finishes. I think I only went to the decision twice, and yeah, it's an exciting fight. I know I don't boast myself as an exciting fighter, but when I get in there, I throw hands and people go down.
And for somebody who's very intense inside that cage, how do you keep so calm outside the cage?
I don't know. It's just a switch that I can turn on, and when it's time to compete, it's time to compete. And I did it from when I was young, and yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it.
Curtis.
Hey, it's Breeze. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I thought Shed Breeze.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it. Hey, Ray, it's Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. My question for you is, how important is it for you to represent Hawaii? And tell us about how big the sport has become on the islands, especially over the past few years.
It's real big in Hawaii. Fighting back in the day, it was real big, and probably in the 90s it was big. But representing Hawaii is a good thing. For just for the young kids that grew up wrestling, they don't have that much down there. Well, down exposure wise, they don't have that many exposure. So it's good to see if the kids can see me doing this and making it big like this. They get opportunities, and yeah, it's real big for the wrestling community. Actually, I really want to start something for the kids to get out there and wrestle, and show everybody that Hawaii get one of the best wrestling in the world.
Appreciate the time, Ray. Thanks.
Thank you.
Breeze.
Hey, it's Breeze with the MMA Breeze. I was just wondering, did your brothers join you in the bubble, and who do you have working with you there for this this fight?
Yeah, I have my dad and my two brothers, Blake and McCall.
Right on. Thanks so much.
Carlos, did you have another question? All right. Any more questions for Ray? Daniel, please.
This is Dana from KHMIQ. Ray, it looks like you and Rory are on a collision course in the playoffs. Have you watched any of his fights at all? Or do you look forward to having the chance of fighting him?
Yeah, I look forward to fighting him. I watched his fights all over his career, and yeah, it seems like we're gonna fight, maybe in the playoffs, maybe in the championships. It doesn't matter. Whenever we fight, I'm gonna take him out too. This is my division, and I'm the king in this division.
Thank you very much, Ray.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ray. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we're bringing in Jordan Young. If you have questions for Jordan, go ahead and raise your hand.
Hey Jordan, this is Tanai from MMA Island. So obviously at PFL 2, you had a crazy time with the change of opponent, and then the second opponent missed weight. How excited are you to make your PFL debut?
I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to being on ESPN Plus as well. The fans were robbed at PFL 2, and now it's time to set that right and give them a performance.
You have 3 points already because your opponent couldn't make it. Are you going to look for the finish, or are you just going to take the fight as it comes on Thursday?
I'm definitely going to look for the finishes. I always do. For my calculations, I need a finish to advance. It doesn't matter if it's first, second, or third. I need a finish, and I need someone with points already to take a L. And that's my path to Hollywood, Florida.
Thank you, Jordan. Good luck on Thursday.
Aldrich. Aldrich, are you there? Okay, Breeze.
Hey, Jordan's Breeze with the MMA Breeze. Wanted to ask, what do you make of Tom's experience of him being in the UFC and facing guys like Chris Weidman and Corey Anderson? And do you think that will play in his favor at all in this matchup?
I respect this experience. Everybody in this tournament has a lot of experience outside of just me and I think like one or two other fighters. But Tom Lawlor has a lot of experience and he's fought some good guys. It's been a long time since he fought those good guys, though. And times change. Things change in this sport very fast.
Thanks so much.
Hello, Mr. Young. How you doing today?
Very well. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Obviously, you mentioned before you respect the experience of Mr. Lawlor. How do you feel about him as a fighter and overall as a person?
I don't know him to say what I think of him as a person, as a fighter. He has a lot of experience. He's a tough guy. He seems to be able to take a shot, kind of durable. I don't think Tommy's a killer, though.
Good luck on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Max.
Hey, this is Max going with the Going Live podcast. Just had a quick question without giving away too much of your game plan. What do you think the key is to your victory for the fight?
Just to be myself, be young, be fresh, be athletic, use my techniques, touch and don't get touched, and take the finish when it's presented, whether that's on the feet or on the ground.
Thanks so much. Good luck.
Hey, Jordan, this is Aldrich Wonder from the Fight Dialogue. So my question for you is, I caught wind on your Instagram that you saw Tom's response and you said it's not what you think is what you know. Can you relate to that?
Yeah, I don't think Tommy's a killer. I don't even know what the question was to him to say he doesn't care what I think, but nothing I said was inaccurate leading up to this fight. Everything is on the money. He does need 6 points, but I would like for someone to tell me how he could get those 6 points. That's a first round finish. I've never been finished. I don't give up finishes. I'm hard to hit. I'm damn sure not getting submitted. So, he can need 6 points. He can want 6 points as much as he wants,
Yeah, and my final question for you is, since you being the youngest fighter on the roster, talk to me what it's like to go against all these guys with experience, and also, claiming that you captured the victory on Thursday and to advance. What is your message to them to look out for you, to not sleep on you?
I think they already know. I'm younger than these guys. I'm fresher than these guys. I respect everybody in the tournament, but anybody who's overlooking me because of my experience and my age is making a mistake. And I think that I have the most to show in this tournament. The MMA community and the MMA fans have seen what most of these fighters have to offer. That's not the case with me, and I haven't been given the opportunity to show that in recent times.
Thank you, and good luck on Thursday.
Dylan.
Hey there, Jordan. Appreciate you making some time.
Oh, man.
I was just curious because last time we were talking, you were saying you were getting into a little bit of the East Coast vibes, localizing yourself a little bit, jamming to some Dave East. I'm kind of wondering what music you're jamming to in the bubble now to get into an optimal headspace.
I like the Black Soprano family, Benny the Butcher. I've been listening to a lot of Benny the Butcher. Kodak Black just dropped a new album. You know, I'm from South Florida, Broward County. And, you know, Kodak and Davies are Benny the Butcher. That's who I'll go with for this time.
Yeah, great jams, man. Appreciate the insights.
My man.
Curtis.
Hey, Jordan, this is Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. It's been a long time since we've seen you fight. Can you tell us about all the work you've put in over the past year heading into your PFL debut?
So much work. 2020 was a long year. There was nothing to do but work, especially in my situation. I'm not a guy who has a job or anything like that outside of fighting. So I spent all the time working on my MMA career inside and outside of the cage.
Appreciate it, Jordan. Thanks.
Jake Foley from Overtime Heroics here. Thanks for being here, Jordan. After previously fighting in Bellator, have you found any troubles adjusting to the PFL bubble and how they run their events?
I didn't get to actually compete at that last event, but so far everything has been good with the PFL. The bubble is, some people are looking at it as a negative thing. Some people are looking at it as a positive thing. Me personally, it's just business. Nothing changes for me. It's an extended fight week, and it just helps me settle into my environment a little bit more. I'm more familiar with this venue than I ever have been with a venue that I've fought in. I've been in and around this, at least the areas I'm allowed to, every day for 5 weeks by the time I fight now, between two bubbles.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. I hope you get the win on Thursday.
My man.
Steve. Steve, we'll come back to you. Ronald.
This is Ron E. Smith. I just want to touch on what you just talked about during 2020, like everybody else, nothing was going on, but you said you were focusing most of your career on MMA. How were you able, though, to keep yourself motivated during that time when nothing was going on?
For me, there was the hope that there would be like an event, maybe with one-off fights from the PFL at the end of the year. So during the summertime, I was staying prepared, hoping that I could fight maybe in September to December for the PFL before the season started. At times, it was tough to keep motivation, especially when I found out that there wasn't going to be a card and whatnot. But then shortly after that, it was announced that the season would start in April and matchups would be given out in the first couple months of the year. So although it was hard to maintain consistent motivation, there was always something to find it and to get back in there.
And my last question, it's always also hard when going to fights to look for the knockout and the big finish, especially in this tournament, the PFL. How will you be able to look for it, but also also concentrate on getting the win?
It'll come to me. I think that this is a very good matchup for me. I think everything falls in my favor, and I think I just need to be patient and take the opportunity when it presents itself.
We'll see you then. Thank you.
Steve.
Hi, Jordan. It's Steve from MMA Lowdown. So you're finally fighting after 3 cancelled bouts. Now you're going in against Tom Lawlor, veteran of the sport. Now he's in a position where a finish is very vital. Now these circumstances, they could alter how a fighter usually fights due to risks and out of desperation. Are you preparing for the best Tom Lawlor?
I think that it's only been 5 weeks in between now and his last fight. And I just know from being a professional and being an athlete that things can change in 4 to 5 weeks, but there's not going to be some drastic change in the last 4 to 5 weeks. Maybe mentally he's feeling a little more like his back is against the wall. This is his last shot, so maybe he'll throw some dangerous things in there. But every fight is dangerous, and I'm always very alert.
Very honest to you. Thank you, and can't wait.
Suraj.
Hey, Jordan. Nice to talk to you And first of all, phenomenal taste in music. One of your teammates, Yaroslav Amosov, just won himself a title. Does that add any added motivation for you? Did you work with him a little bit? Because it seems like you guys are working hard over there right now.
100%. You know, we have a lot of undefeated guys right now at ATT. I was one of them until I had, in my last fight in 2019, gave up my 0. But I know what it's like to be on that side of the fence and to carry that momentum. Everybody at ATT is always working hard. We're all super talented. And I believe right now, I've seen ATT posted between like 5 or 6 of our fighters. We have a record of like 77-0. So, you know, we're very stacked, and it's always motivating to see my teammates go out there and do their thing.
Pleasure to speak to you again, man. Best of luck. You've earned that opportunity, and nice to see you again.
Carlos?
My question again from the Drip podcast. Mr. Young, other than being a mixed martial artist, what is your biggest accomplishment in life?
My biggest accomplishment in life? That's a question I wasn't really prepared to answer at this press conference. You know, I've done a lot. I'm a young guy. I'm only 26 years old. Just being here and free and alive and having the ability to do what I please is a big accomplishment. A lot of people don't always get to follow their dreams and make it to the position I'm in.
Thank you. Good luck on Thursday.
Drew?
Hey, Jordan, Drew Pierce, FightLeague.com. In this fight, how important is it going to be to be able to keep that distance and be really, calculated with your striking so you don't let Tom in close and maybe shoot for those takedowns?
Yeah, I would like to keep the standing. I think it'll be entertaining for the fans. You never want to be on your back in MMA, but I don't think that Tom wants to put me on his back. Maybe he does, but that's not what he really wants. I think that him putting me on my back would be the fastest way for me to get a win.
Awesome. Thanks and best of luck.
Tariq?
What's going on, Jordan? This is Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So obviously you're not a guy that's short on confidence, and with you being just on the outside looking into the playoffs, a win gets you in, and the possibility comes of you potentially facing last season's champion, Emiliano Sordi. How do you feel that you match up against him?
Sordi, I think Sordi's a good fighter. He looks to be in better physical shape than right now in this bubble than he was at the last bubble. He had a tough fight with Chris Camozzi. They both looked like they tired a little bit in that fight, but it's been a long time since any of us have fought, and I think me and Sordi would be an entertaining fight. We both have great boxing. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. I finished with submissions as well. I think that it would be a very entertaining fight for the fans.
That's good, man. Hey, good luck this week.
My man.
Any more questions for Jordan while we have him here? Okay, thank you so much, Jordan. We appreciate you coming on today. All right, we're going to bring in Sordi. You got questions for Sordi? Please raise your hand. Tanai.
Hey, Emiliano, this is Tanai from MMA Island. I saw on Instagram that you and your former rival, Chris Camozzi, were training together. How did that come about, and how was that experience?
Yeah, it's my partner, no? The same work. He worked like me. I think he no fight might with me, no? He need win for 6 points. The other guy need loss. It's very difficult, no? He's southpaw. My opponent is southpaw. It's good partner training for me.
All right, that's awesome. And one more question. You are officially the favorite on DraftKings to win the whole light heavyweight tournament. What would it mean for you to repeat that from 2019 to 2021?
Yeah, sure. Put the money in me.
Thank you, Emiliano.
Jamie?
Buenas tardes, Jaime Barrios, MMA Fan 507 desde Panamá. Saludos, Emiliano, ¿cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? Bien, muy bien.
Muy bien. Emi, una tabla de posiciones que está muy, muy interesante. Ya hay 2 peleadores con 6 puntos, uno con 5. Tu rival no tiene puntos y creo que está obligado a ir a buscar una finalización temprana para tratar de tener opción de llegar a los playoffs. ¿Cómo crees que esto impacta la estrategia que vas a usar para este combate?
Mejor para mí, me gustan las peleas electrizantes, con mucha acción, así que me desenvuelvo mejor en esas peleas. Así que esperemos que él busque eso, yo también voy a buscar lo mismo.
Seguro, yo soy uno de los convencidos de que en PFL tú no necesitas hacer muchas estrategias porque eres un finalizador. Creo que tu pelea con Chris Camozzi, tu pelea contra Chris Camozzi fue apenas tu segunda pelea por decisión en toda tu carrera. Pues se te ajusta mucho el modelo, ¿no? El modelo de PFL. Lo otro, Emi, ¿consideras que en la categoría semipesada es la más interesante ahora mismo de la manera como está la tabla de posiciones?
Sí, creo que sí, exactamente. Por el tema de los puntos, creo que es la más cerrada. Las otras creo que ya están un poco definidas. Y bueno, aparte es una categoría que la mayoría de las peleas fueron por finalizaciones, ¿no? La única que terminó por puntos creo que fue la mía.
Listo, muchas gracias, mucha suerte el jueves, Emiliano.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
How are you today, Mr. I don't know how to say your name correctly, but my question for you is, other than who was your biggest inspiration in the sport of MMA, and who really got you into the sport?
What, sorry?
Sorry. My question for you was, who got you into the sport of MMA, and who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
My first coach is is one guy in my city. My city is very small. He's my friend. No, the people in this time I watch videos for YouTube and training with him in the garage. No, I think maybe 15 years ago. But my inspirations, I think, is Jose Aldo. No, for you, not only for your titles, it's for your history. He come in the jungle. No. He's a big name, really big name in Brazil. He's a big inspiration for other guys.
Thank you, and good luck on Thursday.
Max?
Hey, this is Max going with the Going Live podcast. I just had a quick question. What do you see the keys to victory for this fight?
Put my hands in your face.
Fair enough. Thanks so much. Good luck.
You're welcome.
Hey, Emiliano, this is Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So last season, you ran through everyone fairly easily. We could say that. This season, in your last fight, it was a little bit tougher. Do you feel like some of the guys are starting to figure out your game plan a little bit? After last season, he kind of beat everyone fairly easily, and then this season, currently in this last fight, it was a little bit of a tougher fight. Do you feel like guys are starting to kind of figure out your game plan a little bit?
No, I don't have for my last fight, my condition is so bad, I think I fight with my 30%. For this fight, is everything different.
Awesome, man. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Nico.
Buenos días, Emiliano. ¿Me escuchas?
Buenos días, te escucho bien.
Bueno. Mire, mi pregunta se trata, hemos visto mucho talento que ha salido de Argentina, no solamente para MMA, pero en boxeo también. En tu opinión, ¿cómo has visto la evolución de la popularidad de MMA y boxeo en Argentina?
Creo que el MMA creció mucho, tenemos muchos peleadores muy buenos, muchos talentos nuevos también. Tuvimos un evento en una época muy grande, se llamaba Arena Tour, que era una gran pantalla para que todos nos demos a conocer a eventos internacionales. El boxeo creo que estaba muerto, pero hoy lo veo reviviendo un poco más. Creo que un poco más lento que el MMA, pero bueno, está reviviendo también. Pero le va a ser muy difícil, creo que el espectáculo que brinda el MMA es mucho más emocionante para la gente.
Muchas gracias.
Jamie, did you have another question?
Jaime Barrios de MMA FA 507. Emiliano, vi en redes sociales que estuviste entrenando junto con Chris Camozzi, inclusive haciendo sparring, tu anterior rival. Chris, si logra los puntos el jueves, podría clasificar. ¿Qué opinas de que tuvieran que cruzarse en los playoffs nuevamente?
Creo que es una posibilidad muy difícil de que él pueda entrar, pero es algo que puede pasar, ¿no? Tiene una chance. Y no pasa nada. Somos peleadores profesionales. Puedo sentarme a comer con él una hora antes de pelear y cuando entrar a hacer el trabajo sin problema.
Listo, muchas gracias.
A ti.
Aldrich.
Hey, Emiliano, it's Aldrich Wonder from the Fight Dialogue. My quick question to you is, since last year you won the $1 million tournament, and I heard that you're giving back to your country, providing like meals and toiletries and stuff for people. Have you like established a outreach project to continue that work? And also, what would it mean to actually give back even more, repeating as champion in the tournament?
Fundación. Sí, la verdad que sí, bueno, ayudamos a un montón de gente, pero vimos que no era suficiente, entonces estamos creando una fundación que va a salir de aquí a poco para seguir ayudando gente y también a deportistas argentinos que el gobierno no ayuda. Entonces nosotros creemos que el deporte es la base que tenemos que usar para que los chicos salgan adelante.
And one more question is, I see that you are putting forth more to learning English. Like, how's that going, learning the English language, becoming more fluent in it?
I like it. I'm speaking 4 languages. This is my last, no? I'm speaking Portuguese, Spanish, Italy, and now little English.
That's cool. Good luck to you on Thursday and have a good one.
Thank you.
Siraj.
Hey, Emiliano, it's Siraj from Suki MMA. You had a tough year in 2018, but I just wanted to ask if you could shed some light on the changes that you made, where you got the motivation to kind of go off on this 6-fight win streak and never look back. Yeah, for sure. I was just wondering, in 2018, you had a bit of a tough year, but, it looks like the right motivation, the right changes in your game really pushed you into, a 6-fight win streak now and not looking back. So I'm just wondering if you could shed some light on some of those changes, where you got the motivation from, things like that.
I have a mental coach, no? After I lost my last fight, lost with ATTENDEES, no, in PFL, I'm working with the mental coach. No psychology, is a coach. He helped me really.
Congrats on your success. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Daniel?
This is Daniel from Cage My IQ. Emiliano, knowing that you felt like you had something to work on from the first fight, how was your time in between bubbles? And did you work on anything during that time to get better?
I work more in my condition. I need more condition. I put, I think, a focus in that 70% in my conditions. The other is same training, jiu-jitsu every day, wrestling, box, striking.
And how do you feel now?
I'm feeling 100% now.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Emiliano, Tanai again from MMA Island. What do you make of your opponent, Dan Spawn?
He's good, no? He's very tough. Southpaw is more difficult. But I like a fight. He's a striker, no? He never go to the ground. I like a fight. It's good fight for me and good fight for the people, no? It's a good show.
Thank you. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Ronald?
This is Ronald E. Smith. I just want to just follow back on one of your previous questions and how you said that your mental coach really has helped you progress and grows on this, and has helped you on this streak that you're currently on. Can you just elaborate more on that and how he has helped you?
En español. El problema que yo tenía cuando subí a pelear es que no sentía presión, estaba demasiado relajado. Como estoy en esta entrevista ahora, igual me estaba subiendo a pelear. Y eso creo que es tan malo como tener demasiado miedo, tal vez sea peor. Entonces lo que él me ayudó fue a equilibrar los niveles emocionales.
Very relaxed, just like I am right now during this interview, very relaxed. Once I brought in the mental coach, he helped me find the equilibrium between being relaxed and being scared, motivated to perform inside of the cage.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions for Sordi? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For your time. Appreciate it.
Bye.
All right. We're bringing in Vinny. Vinny Magalhaes. If anyone has questions for Vinny, please go ahead and raise your hand. Carlos.
Hello, Mr. Vinny. How are you doing today?
Hey, how's it going? Pretty good.
That's good. How has training been for you leading up to this fight?
Well, I had probably the longest camp out of all the fighters for this second round of the regular season since I didn't get to fight in the first round, right? I had an issue with my weight. Wasn't even with the weight, actually. I made 206.4. So didn't make weight, but it was close enough, based on on how much I had to cut. And the thing is, since some guys actually ended up fighting, they took some days off or whatever, got hurt, or they took one day off. And for me, it was more about well, as soon as I was healthy and I just was back in the gym right away, which was literally the following Monday. So based on a little bit of a camp that I had for the last one, which was a short notice call, plus what I had, which was 7 weeks for this one, I had 11 weeks to train. So it's been pretty good. The weight's down, that was the biggest issue when I got called for the first round of the regular season. I was 4 weeks out and I was weighing 258. I could have gone heavyweight if there was a spot for me. And I made the cut all the way down to 34. And from 234, I tried to cut wide and it didn't work out so well for me. And now like I've been walking around like 218, 220. So that's like the healthiest way that it can be.
My next question for you is, there's obviously different opinions on this, but what do you think is the best part to focus on a training camp?
Well, here's the thing. Like the last one was short based on like what I could train at home, like with my team at Extreme Couture. When I got the call 4 weeks from the fight, and you had like the 17 days quarantine, so like I barely trained with my training partners in that one, and plus the whole weight issue. So for me, like the last one, I was focused on making weight. You know, it's really hard for you to strategize like a fight. It's really hard for you to focus on your opponent, like what you're gonna do in a fight. If you just like all you can think like 24/7 is about making weight. And this one is different, you know. I found out like who I was fighting, I would say like maybe 2 weeks after the last event, something like that. And then it was different, you know, like I was able to like focus on nothing but the fight. And training has been great, you know, like I'll work, of course, I'm fighting another jiu-jitsu guy who's also like dangerous with his hands. I've known Carlos for a long time, like not just from jiu-jitsu world, but I was one of the assistant coaches when he was an Ultimate Fighter. And I've been watching this guy fighting since like, you know, he started his career. So I know that he can be dangerous, not just on the ground, but also like in strike with his striking. So I was able to prepare myself like to fight a guy like him.
Thank you. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Max.
Hey, this is Max Going from the Going Live podcast. Just have a quick question. Obviously, you're a very accomplished jiu-jitsu player. I was just wondering if you see this fight going to the ground immediately, or do you want to kind of keep it on the feet?
It's hard to say, like, you know, you want to keep it on the feet. Like everybody knows that, like, you know, what I'm better at. It's there's no brainer, you know, like I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Fighting another jiu-jitsu guy, I would say that's the first time that I'm fighting a guy as skilled as him on the ground. But it's still like I should trust my game. I feel like, you know, if it goes to the ground, I feel like I will still have an advantage, even though it's not going to be a bigger gap like I have against most guys. But it's hard to say like how it's going to play out. We never know. We really never know. I just said like, you know, he's actually has like pretty good strength for a jiu-jitsu guy. And so I do have to respect that, but you never know. Maybe he wants to like, you know, keep it standing. Like maybe could I want to keep it standing too? Why not? You know, I feel like that's more on the part of the game that both of us would try out like our luck, you know, while like if you take to the ground, that's our game. That's where both of us feel like the most comfortable. So we'll see.
Awesome. Thanks so much and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Nico.
So, Vinny?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Not too bad, man. My question for you is, you know, with the quarantine kind of coming to an end, but COVID is still an issue, how has it made you kind of rethink how you prepare yourself for each fight?
Hasn't made any difference to me. I got COVID in December, and I try to believe in science, like, you know, my immunity, and I believe that I'm not going to catch this thing again. So it hasn't stopped me from training, has not stopped me from exposing myself to, like, you know, anything or anybody. So it hasn't changed anything. I haven't stopped, like, my regular routine just because of that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tariq.
Hey, Vinny, this is Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So obviously, as we mentioned, you didn't get to fight last go around. And so now in this week, you got one shot to try to make it into the playoffs. If it doesn't happen, you know, for you being active since 2006, how much do you feel like you have left in the sport?
Well, you know, like, as far as like, well, since I've been active since 2006, I would say that I started to have like really tough fights as far as like taking punishment towards like my last like 3 years. My fight against Emiliano, it was a lot of like, you know, it was a hard fight. Against Sean in the championship for PFL, that was a hard fight. But besides that, like, you know, most of my fights have been like a lot of like grappling exchanges, and there's not a lot of damage to like taken or done. So I feel like as long as my body can take it, like, you know, I can do like another year or two. It's not based on like, oh, do you just have 1 year or two? It's more based on like my desire of being like in a sport. I don't want to be one of those guys that's fighting to like 41, 42, 43. And I'm about to turn 37 like in a few weeks. So it's just like a plan, you know. It's not like I couldn't do it. I feel like I could do it as long as like I don't have like any major injury, like, you know, from this point on. I feel like I could do it, but it's just I don't want to. I love what I do, you know. If if it wasn't one of those things that could do damage to your brain, like and things like that, I would probably do it for a long, long time. But I want to enjoy like time with my family, with my kids. And I don't feel like that's a smart thing to be doing with like, like on your mid-40s, like some guys do. What's the next question?
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Aldrich.
Hey, Vinny, this is Aldrich from the Fight Dialogue. So my question for you, like you say, you're going against another highlight going jiu-jitsu, and both of you guys are very high-level grapplers. Fellow jiu-jitsu player myself, the ground is much going to be about who gets the position, pulling the fight to pretty much secure the victory.
I could hear her skirting off a little bit. Like, I could understand your question.
All right, we'll come right back to you.
Jake Foley from Overtime Heroics. Thanks for being here, Vinny.
Thank you.
Since your last MMA fight, we have seen you compete against some of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world. What was that experience like, and do you think it'll benefit your return to the octagon?
I don't know if it benefits. To be honest, it's the only reason I compete like in jiu-jitsu. Again, it is to stay active, so that's to get that adrenaline of competition. But it's a completely different mindset that I have, like for fighting and for jiu-jitsu matches. Like to be honest, like for those matches, like sometimes I would train like once, twice a week, like pure jiu-jitsu. Wow, these guys are training jiu-jitsu like twice a day. When it comes down to fighting, I'm like in the gym like 3 times a day, and there's not a single day off. I would say my day off, I train once or twice, and that would be on a Sunday. So it's a different approach. Mindset's definitely not the same. I feel like there's a lot more like awareness for the danger of going to a fight than there is for a jiu-jitsu match. Even though like one of the last ones I had my ankle broken, it didn't faze me much. Like 3 months later, I was competing again. It's not even like I was, out of the game. And then the same deal. Like 3 months later, I was competing again, and I wasn't training as much. It's a different mindset. It's good to stay busy in a way, especially like mentally. I feel like you're gonna get into a competition, but you can't compare those the two sports.
Thanks for your time. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Breeze.
Hey, Vinny, it's Breeze with the MMA Breeze. Just wanted to ask, what's your favorite submission to hit in a live competition, and what submissions or type of submission could you see yourself pulling off in this matchup?
It's hard to call a submission against like another guy who's also a specialist. If you're giving me a striker, I would just call like a flying armbar, flying triangle, or something like that, which I've done it like before in MMA fights. But I'm going against a guy who I have to respect. I respect his game, of course. I would say like tracking record, I'm more of an armbar guy. We never know. I've trained with Carlos Jr. before. And I know how I can get him. I know that's not easy. You're gonna have to wait until Thursday to see.
Right on. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Hey, Vinny, this is Tanai from MMA Island. How's it going, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
You're obviously going against a legend of the sport, someone you look up to and have worked with. How are your emotions going into this fight?
There's no emotion. And to be honest, I don't even know if I look up to. I've been around for a little longer than him. A little more accomplished than him too when it comes down to grappling. But yeah, it's here's the thing. It's a guy that I respect definitely more than any other guy in the division when it comes down to ground game. He's just as accomplished, he is a guy that I've watched, coming up, in his MMA career. I did follow a little bit of his jiu-jitsu career. And it is a different approach for this fight, but I don't think as far as experience, if you count all my fights, even including the ones in the Ultimate Fighter, that's my 36th fight. So I have a little more experience too. So for me, it's just it's like fighting anybody else. Of course, a little bit of a different approach since I'm fighting a guy that's better than most guys that I've fought on the ground, but it doesn't change much.
And how does it feel going up against a fellow Brazilian?
That is the weird part, because here's the thing, especially Carlos, that's a guy that I've known, I met him, I spent some time with him in Brazil when I was assistant coach from Tough, And, we end up like developing like a level of friendship. So when you get booked, especially against other Brazilians, they like to be like super tight and all that. It feels really odd, when I even like this week when I got to the hotel, like last week, he came up to me, he's like, hey man, that's messed up. Like, I even talked to, Ali, that's our manager. He's like, they could have done could have the different matchup. Like they didn't have to be us. And I'm like, I agree, but now it's already done. Like, let's not focus so much on that. I try not to get into emotion. That's the main thing for me. Like he's somebody that I like. I'm not close friends with him. So for me, going against another Brazilian is just like going against anybody else and another like nationality.
Thank you so much, Vinny. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
This is Ronald E. Smith. My question for you is just like everybody else for 2020, we all had to be shut down, locked up, and a lot of things had to just be put on hold. Just for yourself, what did you learn about yourself during that time period where there wasn't anything going on?
Yeah, that was awful actually for me. I didn't fall much into I was not, again, like I feel like people that have like, their health issues, they do have to take care of themselves. They have to, especially if they're at risk, they should avoid like all kind of like scenarios, not to get sick and all that. For me, being healthy, it's like, I didn't try to overprotect myself. So I tried to do as much as I could. But at the same time, like with the lack of competition, I feel like that was the biggest like thing for me. I've been a competitor since I was like 14 years old. So not having like fights, not having a contract, that's what made me balloon up. That's why I went up like to almost like 260 pounds. With the combination of pandemic, not having PFL, not having a contract to fight. So that was the biggest thing for me. Like that was the heaviest I've ever been. And that's the only thing that the pandemic interfered in my life was like my fatness. But besides that, like I got COVID, it wasn't bad. I didn't have symptoms. My whole family didn't have symptoms. They didn't have symptoms. So it was overall like wasn't that bad.
And how were you? And what changes did you have to do in training since some gyms were closed? Did you have to do anything like work out in your houses or any advanced workouts?
I do have like a full like gym set up at my house. And then again, like in Nevada, like, things didn't close completely. You see like the gym was still open at Extreme Couture, like little like small adjustments that was made, and they were made like, I got to walk into the gym with a mask. Like, but when you train, you can remove the mask. So it didn't change much. It was more the mindset it was just weird knowing that, events were not going to happen, no contract. And at that time, I was not re-signed with PFL. So it was almost like, well, I don't have a contract period right now. So like, I can whatever I want. I don't have to train as much. And that was a little bit of a problem. So mentally it wasn't that good. But overall, I can't really complain.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Carlos.
This is Carlos from the Draping Podcast. My question is for you. Obviously, you said before you were an assistant coach on Tough when Antonio Carlos Jr. was there. When you coached him on Tough, did you know he was going to be something special?
He was, as a matter of fact, I was with Cheo, right? Like, and he was in Vinny's team. That was the guy that we won in our team. Really nice dude, like, great potential. Like, at that time, he was really accomplished, like, in jiu-jitsu. So we wanted him to be, like, in our team. And we figured, like, he was my pick to win that season. And he won, even in a heavyweight, which is not even, like, close to be his weight class. But I knew he was going to be good. The guy, he's talented, and again, for a jiu-jitsu guy, he was shown like to have like good boxing. Even in that season, I think he won 2 of the fights in the season by TKO or something like that. And he looked good. It was not like, oh yeah, I got lucky. He looked good doing it, and we knew he was going to do well.
My next question for you is: obviously, you guys are friends, but if there was something you could help him improve on, what do you think that would be?
Well, if I could help him, I would beat him on Thursday. That's going to be a lesson. So that's like the best way to help somebody, right? Maybe he's going to have to make some adjustments from now on. Think about that. No better way to help somebody.
Thank you, and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Vinny? Please raise your hand. Okay, thank you so much, Vinny. Appreciate
thank
it.
you. That was a lot better than the last one. I was like dying the last time.
All right, guys, we have Antonio here, Vinny's opponent. Any questions for Antonio? Please raise your hand. Let's start with Breeze.
Hey, Antonio, this is Breeze with the MMA Breeze. You obviously have experience training with your opponent, Vinny. How does that come into factor with this matchup? And do you think you have exposed some holes in his games that you're looking to capitalize on?
Sorry, can you repeat? Sorry.
Yeah, so you have experience training with Vinny. With that experience, have you seen opportunities for you to win this fight? And do you think it will be an advantage going into your matchup with him?
We actually haven't trained together for a long time. We just trained one day. He was one of the coaches in the Ultimate Fighter I was on, but I was in the other team, but he's the guy, we familiar with each other, we actually know each other. But I know he's a jiu-jitsu guy. He got a lot of fights, so I could watch it. I could see his game, his strong points and some points that I can take advantage of. And I think that's it. I think he got a lot of fights that I can watch and study his game to get a win.
Right on. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Hey, Antonio, this is Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. I want to get your thoughts on how you like fighting at light heavyweight and what advantages do you think it brings you to not cut the extra weight?
Man, that is awesome, I just feeling a lot more energy. I used to cut a lot of weight, 35 pounds is a lot of weight, and I feel when I went to the fight, I was like with no energy at all, I fight a little bit after like first round, I feel I get no energy, I feel no sugar on my blood. So I get tired too fast, I could see that in the training because I was training my normal weight, but once I started the diet, I started feeling that I couldn't perform, the same way. And going to 205 is way better, man. I feel way better, happy. I feel my body responds to the train, everything that I'm doing. I feel my organism was being like damaged, for the dieting, the weight cut, because it was a lot of weight. I think 205 is the way I should be on for a very long time.
Thanks, Antonio. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, bro.
Tanai?
Hey, Antonio, this is Tanai from MMA Island. I asked Vinny the same question that I'm going to ask you. How does it feel going up against a fellow Brazilian?
I don't really like to fight another Brazilian, but it is what it is, man. We, as I said, we know each other, but we're not really like close friends, but we both representing like the same country, but we still fighting for each other, for our team, he's fighting for his team, I'm fighting for my team, fighting for myself. So it is what it is, man. If you gotta fight, we gotta fight. I prefer definitely to fight someone from another country, but if I gotta fight him, I gotta fight him. There is no choice.
Absolutely. I also saw you play some games of FIFA on your Instagram.
I'm terrible on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Zuada got the better of you. But I don't know if you're a football fan or not, but the Copa America started yesterday. Brazil got a nice 3-0 win. Do you think they're going to win it all?
I saw the game yesterday, 3-0, right? Yeah, I think the team is pretty good. I follow some guys. I'm friends with some guys. They're doing a great job. I really believe in the Brazilian soccer team. There's a lot of like talented guys. You see Neymar, Marquinhos, Gabriel Jesus, Gabigol, a lot of guys. And I'm always rooting for them.
All right. If you see some of your friends, tell them that I said hi. Tell Neymar I said hi.
All right, I'll tell him.
Good luck on Thursday. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Nico.
Antonio, your high level of jiu-jitsu always gets brought up with, with all your fights. But do you feel like your striking sometimes gets overlooked? And do you think it could be a deciding factor on Thursday?
Could be, man. I think it's like MMA fight, so I think I gotta mix it up always, I cannot go just for one thing, just for jiu-jitsu or just for striking. I think that's something that I was doing in the past and wasn't good for me. I think when I mix it up, I fight way better, that's what I'm training for, trying to mix it up, use the right thing, the right moment. And I think this is going to bring the win.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tariq.
How you doing, Antonio? This is Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So we've talked to a lot of fighters about what the experience has been like in the bubble. But for you, just back in January, you were on Fight Island, and now you're here in the bubble. What was that experience like compared to what you have right here in Atlantic City?
Well, here's more days. It's a little weird, like to be far away from your team, from your house for that long. My last fight, we gotta stay here for like 17 days. This time is gonna be 12. What is better? But it is what it is, At least we get more concentrated for the fight. We got on this environment, so we get used to that. At least they have a like a good place for us. They give us like good food and everything, so make it easy for sure.
Sounds good. Best of luck this week.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sounds good. Best of luck this week.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Dylan.
Hey there. I was just curious because I had noticed there was an Instagram post a bit ago where you were training with Buchecha. I'm kind of wondering what the experience has been like training with him and how he's been adapting to getting into the MMA ranks.
Yeah, Buchecha is my friend for a very long time. He just started in MMA, but he's doing very good. He doesn't have a fight yet. I think he probably gonna be fighting like July, August. I don't really know actually. But he's so talented, he's the greatest of all time, 13 times world champion. He got everything so easy, so fast. I think he's gonna do great in MMA as he did on jiu-jitsu. And it's been great, man. We always helping each other, we're very good friends. He's leaving my house now that he moved to Florida, to train at American Top Team. And it's just great, I got somebody to push me in the floor, if his game is awesome, man.
Thanks for the insights, man. I appreciate the time.
No problem.
Hey, this is Max Goen from the Going Live podcast. Thanks for taking the time. I just have a quick question. Obviously, your opponent could be a little desperate for some bonus points. Are you expecting some first round pressure?
Yeah, definitely. He's always strong in the first round, right? Not just, I think, especially now because he needs the 6 points to try to go to the playoffs. But this is his game, He's all live. His first round was his best round, so I think he's gonna go for all or nothing.
Thanks so much, man. Great luck. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you so much, man.
Carlos.
Hello, Mr. Antonio. How you doing today?
How doing, man? Good.
Obviously, someone mentioned before that you posted something about FIFA on your Instagram. Are there any other video games you like to play when you're not fighting?
I like to play Counter-Strike. I'm not that good also, but I love playing that.
If you ever want to play Counter-Strike with me, I'm always down. I love Counter-Strike.
Oh, really? Let's do it, bro. Let's do it for sure. Definitely.
Yes, sir. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Michael Morales.
Hey, Antonio. How are you?
How are you doing, brother?
Everything good, man.
Glad to have the opportunity to speak with you. My question for you is, how's been your experience with PFL so far?
Man, great. They treat us so well. I feeling home. That is the environment so good. Everything's working great. This stuff. Everybody's awesome. Man. I love the experience.
All right, Curtis.
Hey, Antonio, this is Curtis Calhoun from Low Kick MMA again. Kind of want to get your thoughts on the season format in PFL and how do you like the quick turnarounds in between fights?
I'm sorry?
Oh, I was just trying to get your thoughts on the season format in PFL and how do you like the quick turnarounds in between fights?
You mean my fight or every fight you see?
Yeah, like in terms of just having a couple of months in between fights, how do you like?
Man, I'm actually feeling great, about that because I'm keep fighting, keep the constant. The constancy is really great. It's like you're going to some sparring at the gym. That's how I feel. I think if you stay long time not fighting, is bad for you. You lost the timing. You know what I mean. So if you keep fighting, I think keep fighting is the best thing to do, for the athlete. You keep shape, was good for me because I didn't hurt myself. So I got 7 weeks to train hard, get well and get ready for this fight. I hope I don't get hurt again and go to the playoffs healthy and well.
Thanks, Antonio. Appreciate it again.
Thanks, bro.
True.
Hey, Antonio, Drew Pierce, FightLeague.com. Does your game plan change at all with having 6 points going into this last bout of the regular season, or is it business as usual for you?
No, actually, game plan is the same. We always working on everything. As I said, we always fighting for the win. But if the opportunity presents itself, for some submission, some knockout, so you gotta, get that moment. But you always like working on fighting like 3 or 5 rounds, whatever, and get your arm raised at the end. I think this is the best thing to do.
Thanks. Best of luck.
Thanks, man.
This is Ronald E. Smith. I just want to follow up on that previous question. Are you saying that fighting for the win, but for and especially in this tournament that they heavily won for knockouts and submissions, especially with those points. How hard it is for you to fight for the win, but try not to fall in the trap before looking for the knockouts and those submissions.
Sorry, can you repeat the end?
Yeah, just for you not to search for the finishes, for the knockouts and the submissions.
Yeah, as I said, like you need to make it present itself. You can really force it too much. You know what I mean? For sure, I want to finish the fight. Last time in the cage, so last chance to get hurt or whatever. But if you really force it, it's not gonna work. If you're trying to force something against like high level guys, maybe it's gonna something wrong is gonna happen. I think you need to bring the guy to that moment, that you can and then you're gonna use the moment to finish him, to submit him, to knock him out, whatever. I always looking for the finish, but sometimes it don't come. It don't come, So I think you need to create the opportunity, and when you create it, use it, go for it.
And then you brought up before about the quick turnaround in 7-week training camp. Have you changed anything up during this camp? Has anything new popped in for you for preparing for this fight?
No, not really. I don't change much. Still working with same coaches. Just change the maybe training partners because last fight was against some
southpaw wrestler. Now I'm gonna fight regular stance, some bigger guy, jiu-jitsu guy. I just changed like the training partners, and the strategy for sure. Against Tom Lawlor, I got one idea on my mind. Against Vinny, it's gonna be a little different, but I didn't change much actually.
Thank you for your time, man. See you then.
Thanks, brother.
Steve, MMA Lowdown.
Hey, Antonio, Steve from MMA Lowdown. Hope you're well.
Thanks, man.
So, in the UFC, you were known as Antonio the Grappler. Now, we know that you do practice your striking a lot, and to get a chance to showcase it, would you like to become recognised in the PFL as Antonio the Striker?
No, I'm still a grappler. I'm not a striker, but as I said before, we fight MMA, so you gotta mix it up. You gotta use every aspect of the fight. You gotta strike, you gotta wrestle, you gotta do jiu-jitsu, everything. I think if you mix it up well, you're gonna do well in the fight. Some guys try to do only one thing, and makes easy to read. What they're doing. I think if you mix it up, makes hard for your opponent to read you. To discover what you're gonna do. So I think mix it up is the best thing in MMA.
Appreciate your honesty, man. Good luck.
Thank you, bro.
Jake Foley from Overtime Heroics here. Thank you for your time, Antonio.
No problem.
With the newest season of The Ultimate Fighter airing weekly, how did The Ultimate Fighter benefit your career and prepare you to fight at the highest level?
Man, it was great. It was a great experience. I was fighting against experienced guys at the time. At the time, I had only 3 fights.
The next thing that's coming on, somebody I need to ask. So,
sorry? What's that? Oh, all right. So yeah, the Ultimate Fighter was a great experience. Short period of time, I gotta fight like 3 times. Against experienced guys, you don't know who you're gonna fight, so you need to be ready for everybody. It was a tough experience for sure, but was great for me. Make me prepare to face everyone. Especially because I was fighting against a heavyweight. And I actually never been a heavyweight, I actually at the time was a little lighter than I am right now. At the time I used to walk around like 208, no more than that. And now I'm walking around like 218, 220. So yeah, it was great, man, especially in Brazil. The television in Brazil, the Ultimate Fighter was on Global. Global is a channel that everybody in Brazil watches. So it was great, man. It was great for me. It was a great experience.
Thank you for your time and good luck on Thursday.
Thanks, man.
Tonight.
Hey, Antonio, this is Tanai from MMA Island. You finished Tom Lawlor with a guillotine in your last fight, but he had you early on in a guillotine as well. How tight was that, and how confident were you to get out of it like you did?
I knew he was good in the guillotines, but I've been in that position for 100, 1,000 times. You know what I mean? And it's pretty hard to finish me, especially on the guillotine. You know what I mean? So I knew he would try it. I just need to stay calm because I know how to defend. He was spending his energy and was part of the strategy actually, and everything worked out well. Wasn't very tight actually. I just need to position myself in the right way. So it's gonna be hard to submit.
Good to know. Thank you so much, and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Aldrich. Aldrich, we'll come back to you. Carlos.
This is Carlos again from the Drippy Podcast. I don't know if you watched the UFC the past Saturday, but your former opponent Marvin Vettori fought in the main event against Israel. I wanted to know, what do you think of both Israel and Marvin's performances?
I didn't really watch the fight. What I heard was like Marvin trying to taking him down, and Adesanya working on his kicks and keep the distance. Basically was that, but I was sleeping at the time, you know what I mean? I sleep too early, man, and close to the fight is, was better to sleep. But that's what I heard about that, I want to watch it later.
My next question for you is, who got you into the sport of MMA, and who do you think is your biggest inspiration?
I'm sorry?
Who got you into the sport of MMA, and who do you think is your biggest inspiration?
Yeah, so I think it's the same guy. He was Junior, Junior Cigano, Junior dos Santos. He's my big friend since I was 15. We started training together. And so I keep fighting jiu-jitsu. He went to MMA, become a world champion. He's one of my inspirations, I met him before everything. So he started training with 21 years old, become world champion with 26, 27. This guy was crazy, on me. So yeah, he's one of my biggest inspiration in life, in the sport too.
Thank you. Good luck Thursday.
Thanks, man.
Aldrich.
Hey, Antonio. This is Aldrich Warner from the Fight Dialogue. How you doing, brother?
How doing, man?
It's good. So my question for you is, of course, you and Vinny are both high-level black belts in your fight. And of course, as a fellow jiu-jitsu practitioner myself, pending the fight goes to the ground, do you think positioning will be the key of securing the victory or helping you towards your game plan?
I'm sorry?
I was saying both you and Vinny are both high-level grapplers. Mm-hmm. And pending the fight goes to the ground, and as a fellow jiu-jitsu practitioner myself, do you feel that positioning will be the main key factor in your fight?
If there is any position, you mean?
Will positioning on the ground be a factor in your fight if it goes to the ground?
Oh, got it. All right. For sure, as I said, MMA is a little different from grappling. He's a very good grappler, as I am. Would be a great submission match. But I think you need to position yourself better, especially in MMA, so you don't want to get hit, you don't want to get submit. For sure, you need to get a good position, especially if you're on bottom, If you're in the bottom in MMA, is a little complicated, you can try some submissions and stuff, but it's pretty hard because there's some, some punches and everything. So you need to protect yourself.
Jake Foley from Overtime Heroics here again. Newly retired fighter Paul Felder has been pretty open about his opinion on more weight classes. For someone like you who has dealt with changing weight classes and eliminating that cut, what is your opinion on more weight classes in MMA?
Yeah, you see the guys going up, they having a better results, better fighters, they becoming a better fighters because they don't, how do I say, you don't messes with your body a lot, you know what I mean? Like for me to cut 15 pounds is easy, but 35 pounds was crazy, man. I couldn't leave. I was thinking about the diet my whole day, the whole time. And I don't know, it just messes with everybody, your testosterone, your hormones, your whole body, I was having a lot of injuries, by the time. So I think if you can keep the weight, your weight close to your weight division is the best thing to do, not losing a lot of weight. I think it's the best thing. It's the best thing to your body, the best thing to your perform.
Thanks again for your time. Good luck on Thursday.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And hey, Antonio, Tanai again from MMA Island. You said about your friendship with Junior Dos Santos, and he parted ways with the UFC recently. Where do you think he's going to end up? Will we see him in the PFL soon?
Man, I don't know. Maybe there is a chance. I don't know how he's doing with the negotiations, what his plans. For sure, a lot of like the big organizations gonna like to have him. He's a really nice guy, great athlete, and all I know is that he's gonna be ready, for whatever. He faced a lot of like tough guys, his whole life he was fighting against the top 5 guys in the world. So I think everybody wants him, Let's see what's gonna happen. I don't really know. That is almost like 10 days that I don't really talk to him about it because I'm here.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Good luck.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Antonio before we let him go? Once. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. See you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, we are going to bring Rory in just a few minutes. I apologize for the delay, but he will be right here. Thank you. Also, raise your hand if you have a question for Rory. Curtis.
Hey, Rory, this is Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good, thanks.
You've mentioned in the past that you let yourself get too comfortable almost during your title reign in Bellator. What's been the biggest difference in your motivation now with PFL? And could you expand on the goals that you've set yourself up to accomplish while you're still in your prime?
Absolutely, yeah. So what happened was I won the title against Lima. I had just gotten married and had kids, so a lot of changes in my life. Financially, I was doing a lot better, and I started to enjoy the spoils of success get to me and like take my focus off of my goals in the sport. So enjoying home time was an amazing thing. Having a family now from before just like being on my own and being in the gym all day. It was nice to be at home and be in that comfort zone of family time, and I abused that. I didn't balance it out with the hard work and the sacrifice it takes to be at the top level of the sport, and that drawed out for a fairly long period of time, and I felt like my performances dipped. And with this whole COVID thing, I was able to take a break, kind of look internally like what happened. Sometimes, when you're busy, have a busy schedule, you don't actually face the issues that were coming up. So it gave me some time to address these things, refocus, remotivate, setting goals. And like you said, you were asking what those goals were. I want to be the number one welterweight in the world, and I believe that's going to take dominant performances. They need to be impressive. I need to show the best version of myself every time I get into the cage, and go out there and stack up the wins.
And a quick follow-up on that, if I may. What are your thoughts on Gleason Tebow as an opponent and how camp's been so far for you?
Super experienced guy. He's fought the who's who, and really strong, tough, durable competitor. So that's what I'm expecting out of him.
Thanks, Rory. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Hey, Rory, this is Tanai from MMA Island. You're officially a heavy favorite to win the whole welterweight tournament. How does this make you feel?
It doesn't make me feel any way, to be honest. I never paid attention to favorites or anything like that. I think their pick is right, though. I'm very confident and hungry to go after that title.
That's awesome. Can you also tell us who you have as your training partner or your training partners in the bubble right now? And how's it going? Yeah.
In the bubble, I have Angelusa, and he's a training partner of mine at Sanford MMA in Florida.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good luck on Thursday.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, Rory, Darnell, Giovanni, Mystic Black MMA. Just wanted to know, there's a couple fighters who pulled out during this season. Are you training for a specific opponent, or are you just training just to get better in every area?
Both. Small adjustments for each opponent I face, but my style is to be a complete mixed martial artist. So I always train everything, so I can take the fight anywhere or be comfortable anywhere a fight takes place. But when I have a certain opponent and I feel like I can do certain techniques that would, be good against that kind of style of guy, I'll practice those a little more.
And if you were to win this competition, where would it rank in your career accomplishments?
It's going to be right up there with all my championship wins. This is a really it's a tough competition because it's very condensed. 4 fights, very condensed. It's training camp after training camp after training camp after training camp. So it also takes a lot of mental fortitude and to be able to push through and all these restrictions, the bubble, all these little things, they add up on a fighter trying to prepare to be the best they could be. So I think being strong mentally is a huge key in that.
And last one for me, I remember in your previous organization, you had those customized suits. Are we going to see the return of the suits?
Not until these bubbles go away and we can get, regular press conferences back and I can actually see you in person.
Awesome. Thank you, Rory.
Breeze.
Hey, Rory, it's Breeze with the MMA Breeze. You mentioned before who you brought with you to the bubble, and you mentioned training out of Sanford MMA. Sanford's one of the most talked about gyms right now. You guys have a lot of talent out of there. Who are some of your favorite guys to work with out of Sanford, and how instrumental does that gym play to your career?
It's been great. Honestly, there's so many guys that have been amazing to train with. Obviously, Anj, who's here with me now. There's guys like Jason Jackson, who's fighting out of Bellator, Gilbert Burns, and Robbie Lawlor's there. I mean, there's so many good guys, and there's even bigger guys there, fighting in the UFC and on their way up to the UFC. So it's been a great experience, full of good, positive personalities, hardworking environment. So it's been great to be there.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Michael Morales, please.
Hey, Rory, I wanted to ask you, you've been active inside this industry for almost 16 years. You made your debut in 2005. After so much time dedicated to the MMA industry, what continued to fuel, your fire and the fire inside you to keep doing this?
To be the best in the world, to claim that spot. I still feel like I need to accomplish that, and obviously to provide for my family. Those are my two big motivations.
Awesome. And what are your thoughts on PFL's welterweight division so far?
I think it's a great division, super competitive from guys all over the world. I thought they did an amazing job putting the welterweight division together. So it's super competitive and very happy to be competing against top level opponents.
Thank you and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Hey, Rory, it's Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So we talked about how you were looking forward to fighting twice in one night. So far this season, with your first fight got done and over pretty quickly, you got the finish. In this fight this week, are you going to look to get the finish quick, or are you going to try to test yourself a little bit to kind of make up for that?
I'm going in there to finish. I'm not trying to play games or play points anymore at this point in my career. I go out there to dominate and show the best version of myself. So, whoever's standing in front of me, I'm not trying to extend the fight any more than it should. I'm going to go after them and try to put them away.
Hey there, Rory. Appreciate you making some time.
Thanks.
I was just curious because I was noticing that we're a couple days removed from the 11-year anniversary of your fight with Carlos Condit. And when I spoke with David Lee, he was talking about how that was the loudest crowd that he had ever heard. And he spoke very favorably of just what you were able to do to grow BC MMA and by proxy Canadian mixed martial arts. What are your recollections of that fight with Carlos Condit and just the residual fallout from it?
Yeah, that was an incredible experience. Still to this day, it is the loudest arena I've ever been in. For my fight or any other fight, I couldn't believe it. To be honest, when I was going out to that fight, before I was walking out, I didn't expect anybody to know me. It was my second fight in the UFC. But when they said that I was from British Columbia and we were fighting in Vancouver, I think that the crowd blew up, that I was, somewhat of a hometown guy. That was totally taken by surprise, and I was just flooded with emotion and adrenaline. I honestly couldn't even hear myself think. It was the loudest experience of my life, and obviously fighting a guy like Carlos Condit at that point in my career was like a huge step up. So it was just like adrenaline to the max. I wasn't in my right mind or focus. I was just riding on an adrenaline high like I've never had before.
Thanks so much for the insights, man.
Yeah.
Jake Foley from Overtime Heroics here. Thank you for your time, Rory.
My pleasure.
Last week, fellow Canadian Olivier Aubin-Mercier wore a shirt that fans could scan on their TV and tip through Bitcoin on his performance. As a fighter who has seen it all in MMA, how do you think this could benefit the sport moving forward if more promotions adapt this?
Yeah, I think I did the same thing, actually. I had a Dash sponsorship. At one point, I'm not sure if we did the QR code for that one or not, but I think it's awesome to implement, some cryptocurrency into the sponsorships. I think it's a great opportunity for fighters and the cryptocurrencies that get involved.
Thanks for your time. Good luck on Thursday.
Thanks.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Roy, you talked about how for this fight, you just want to get it and get the finish and go home. But also, too, it's easier said than done, especially for this tournament. So how do you balance on trying to get the finish but not look for the finish, which may also stall the fight and may go to a decision?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go in there and be stupid and try to like put my neck out on the line to put him away. That's from refinement of technique. You go out there and you fight balanced. You find the openings when they come. I'm not trying to force anything. And to be honest, the pressure is really off of me. I'm at the top of the leaderboard for these points, and not that I really take that into consideration when I'm fighting, but before the fight, it really doesn't make me nervous. I just have to go out there and fight my fight, and when the finish comes, it comes. But it's about applying the pressure, not so much looking to win off points like you've seen probably in some of my past experiences. I'm able to score points and win rounds without actually, taking the fight to my opponent, so to speak.
And my last question, before this, Ray Cooper told us that he believes he's the top welterweight in this tournament. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he's definitely up there. I think he's a really strong fighter, brings a lot to the table when you go in there and fight a powerful, hungry guy like him. But obviously, I think that I'm gonna be too much for him.
Thank you very much. We'll see you then.
This is Daniel from Cage My IQ. You and Ray are sitting up top of the leaderboard right now. Have you done any tape watching of his fights, and do you look forward to the potential of meeting him in the finals?
Yeah, I've definitely watched Ray's fights. I haven't been like studying them or anything, but I'm a fan of his style of fighting, and I think he's a dangerous opponent that I have to respect a lot and make sure that I'm at my very best, and for sure, any one of these guys that are going to be in the top four are going to be exciting for me to compete against. So if me and Ray get matched up at some point, I think that's going to be a great matchup.
And then, did you do anything in between the bubbles to fine tune your skills to get ready for Gleason?
Just training camp as usual, and then adding in a few techniques that I feel like I can take advantage of.
Thank you very much.
Carlos.
Hello, Mr. MacDonald. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, thanks.
I saw on your one of your most recent Instagram posts that you were holding your two lovely children, son and your daughter. and you're obviously a family man. Would you consider them your biggest inspiration to continue doing the sport of MMA?
My family and accomplishing my goals of being the best welterweight in the world. Yeah.
And my next question for you is, who got you into the sport of MMA?
My dad. We were talking in the car one day with my brother, and he went to a gym that did mixed martial arts. We called it obviously like UFC training, because at the time we watched UFCs, and he was like, yeah, we did a field trip and it was like UFC fighting, and he was telling me all about what they did. And I always really loved combat sports, and I always wanted to do boxing and things like that, but I never got the chance to go and do it. And my dad saw that I was really excited, and I wouldn't stop talking about it, I wouldn't stop asking my brother. And so he said, well, would you like to go? And I said, yeah, let's go. So we turned the car around and he took me there, and we talked to David Lee, who is the owner of the gym. And he was like, yeah, come back at 5:00 or whatever it was and bring this and that. And I showed up, and I basically never left after that.
My final question for you is, obviously you were once known as the next predecessor to George St. Pierre. Do you still hold yourselves to those such high standards?
No, I never did, to be honest. It was always something that people just put out there in the media and always asked me. I never set out to be George or anything like that. I think that's just setting yourself up for failure, or trying to mirror someone's accomplishments. I have my own road. I have my own style, and my own, experience through this walk and this road of martial arts. I've been able to have the opportunity to train alongside with George and learn a ton from him, but I would never compare myself or try to live up to what he accomplished. I'm just trying to accomplish my goals and have my own experience in this sport.
Thank you, and good luck on Thursday.
Thanks.
Hey, Rory, it's Steve from MMA Lowdown. So you've fought a who's who in the sport. This week you're taking on Gleison Tibau, someone who's also fought many names. I just want to get your thoughts on Gleison. So have you followed his career at all over the years? And if so, I just want to know to what extent. How do you feel you match up stylistically against him?
I have seen Gleison's fights. I haven't tuned into all of them, but I know that he's, very experienced. He did a huge run within the UFC, had a lot of success there, and fighting at lightweight. And, I think he's a big, strong, experienced guy. He's probably seen it all. He's been fighting for a long, long time. He brings it, he's got a lot of wins under his belt. So it's somebody who I respect, and I'm going out there focused, determined to bring my best and put him away.
It's a fight I thought that we'd never see. Best of luck. Can't wait.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to follow up and just ask about how has training been for you, and restrictions lifting up in certain places has been more easy enough for you to train and get prepared for the fight.
Well, I've been in Florida, so it's been, smooth sailing down there. Really happy to be a part of Sanford MMA since about February, and it's been great. Training as usual down there. The only difference is having to come in here and do this bubble before the fight.
I know the feeling. Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
All right, last question, Tariq.
Hey, Rory, Tariq again from the Havoc Hour. You mentioned Robbie earlier, so obviously you guys had one of the greatest fights ever in MMA. Do you guys still keep in touch? I feel like, that whole experience would be something that creates some sort of a bond between two guys.
Yeah, I mean, we train in the same gym. We're friendly and working on doing a project together right now, actually.
Awesome. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rory. We appreciate you coming out today.
Thanks, guys.
All right, my media friends, thank you guys for coming out today as well. I appreciate all your questions. And as soon as the Zoom processes, I will email you a link to today's media day. And we will see you Thursday for the fights, June 17th, 5:30, ESPN Plus. Bye, guys.